Hi, this is Dr. Richard Ruling here to share with you on the Total Health Channel how that a series of impending events reveal that God is master of the situation by a best-selling author who is also my favorite author. I'm a retired physician. I taught health at Loma Linda University, founded by Ellen White, and NIH, National Institutes of Health, gave my school $40 million to learn how the community, which is mostly Seventh-day Adventists, live about 7 years longer than other non-smoking groups. And I wish they had talked to me first. I could have saved them some money because it was the writings of the founder, Ellen White. She was exactly 100 years ahead of her time compared to the Surgeon General who said in 1964 that tobacco is linked to lung cancer, malignant tumors of the lung. But she said it was a malignant poison in 1864. And Dr. Clive McKay, professor of nutrition at Cornell, reviewed her writings on nutrition and other health aspects, and he said there's no better overall guide. He was amazed that she did not incorporate the fads or fallacies of her time. Sometimes she's accused of borrowing other authors' writings, and she has been researched by a copyright specialist who said she did not violate the copyright laws of her time. But she did borrow and did not always quote because it would ruin the continuity of the thought and theme. You don't want to go back and look at this source and that source. You just want to hear the truth. And she has an amazing record of truth in her writings. Best-selling books in many respects on health. I heard a pathologist say that the book Ministry of Healing is the best single book ever written. Well, I wondered at first about that because the Bible is the best selling book and the greatest book, but it's really 66 books. If you only had one of those books, would you like Genesis or Exodus or Leviticus? I think that Ellen White's book, Ministry of Healing, is the best single book ever written because it has a very broad picture of Christ's ministry, of natural remedies, and also of relationships in the home. My wife and I love reading a page or two each day to think about what she says, etc., as a devotional type of focus. So I would just say Ellen White shines, and on health especially, but health laws that she outlines in the words New Start: nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, okay, and temperance, air, pure air, not smoking, rest, and trust in God, trust in positive mental attitudes, being positive about life. These things are, I wouldn't trade what I understand for all the money in the world. And I'm 83 and in great health thanks to her writings and doing it well since I was a teenager, basically, when I became a vegetarian. But I'm not going there right now. I'm wanting to look at a broader picture. Sadly, the founders of her school did not honor her and her words when they wanted to get AMA accreditation and were told that they needed to teach pharmacology. She said no twice to them, but they hijacked her school to teach pharmacology and get accreditation. This is like Israel of old. Israel wanted to be like other nations, and they wanted a king. Well, God was their king, and he was the one that they were rejecting. And so same with what Adventists think is the remnant church. Sadly, her definition of church after they leaders rejected an 1888 message of righteousness by faith, she went with the preachers of that General Conference session in 1888 to camp meetings until leaders asked her to go to Australia, really to get rid of her. And she wrote some of her best books, classics, but in those classics, actually I can give you a link to the page where you can read any of them. There's only one that was written before the rejection of 1888. It's called The Great Controversy. It's a great book, but in the other books that she wrote after their rejection of the message and asking her to go to Australia, None of them mention the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Okay, they're for everybody. Okay, and she saw her church in apostasy. She appealed for reorganization in 1901. They voted it, but never did it. In 1903, they voted a hierarchical structure of 5 levels like the Catholic Church has, and she said, "How has the faithful city become a harlot? My Father's house is made a house of merchandise, a place whence the divine presence and glory have departed." Past tense. Well, they incorporated those changes the following year. In her discussion, she said, "We cannot step off the foundation God has laid to enter into any new organization, for that would be apostasy from the truth." That was in Second Testimonies. I'm sorry, Selected Messages, 390, I believe. You can Google it in her writings or search her web, egwritings.org, to see the statement. And sadly, it continued. She said in 1905, "The apostasy which is developing and increasing will continue till the Lord descends from heaven with a shout." That's in Special Testimonies, Series B. Well, that means if the apostasy is going to continue, we have to get out of that organization at some point, or we will be lost because they're an apostasy. And the sooner you see it, the better. I have spent my time visiting Adventist churches and trying to share truth as I understood it, but have been walked out by after making a comment or two that quote incite her. Sadly, I'm not welcome at those churches where I live nearby in Arizona. Several churches. So bottom line, not a good situation for the Adventism, and I would welcome an inquiry into the things we're talking about, including drugs, which are a leading cause of death. She did not want drugs taught, and now adverse drug reactions are a leading cause of illness and death. Well, that's longer than I expected to share, but take a look at it in the series. We're going to be sharing these events. And thank you for watching. Go to the website and take a look at it. It'll be posted below.